It is just a huge honor for me to be podcast interviewing Whitney Rose DiFoggio, RDS BS. She's a dental hygienist, often known as the Teeth Talk Girl on social media. Both her YouTube videos, she has a YouTube channel, just youtube.com/Teeth Talk, and website articles on Teeth Talk Girl, focus on educating the general public on dental health. With her background in acting, she also enjoys creating dental office skits and parody videos to entertain dental professionals. In addition, Whitney has recently co-founded a company called Happy Teeth, which includes purses, bags, and accessories. The most exciting part is that for every item purchased, a dental health kit is donated to someone in need. Whitney lives, breathes, and dreams about teeth and is happy to be sharing her journal on social media. And seriously, I invited you to come on the show. You didn't ask me to come on. And I'm a huge fan of your YouTube channel because it's people like you. I mean, we got all these consumers, and the stuff they think is just crazy. And then the New York Times throws us under a bus with, oh, there's no research on floss and all this stuff like that. But what I like about you is, you're entertaining, you're adorable, you're right on point, you're succinct. I mean, it's just an amazing channel. And my gosh, do you have a lot of subscribers. What are you sitting at? Yours 64,000 subscribers, 64.6. My God, you're coming up on the number 69, which I always tease my oldest two sisters that are nuns, that 69 is my favorite number. And do you know why?
Uh-oh.
You know why?
I hope there's a good reason.
Because that's how old Mother Teresa was when she won the Nobel Prize. I mean, what else were you thinking? I don't know what else you could be thinking of. But gosh, your videos, my gosh, dental cleaning, when do baby and adult teeth come in? You have so many videos, and you're always funny. I mean, you always crack me up. What I want to get you on is how did you end up going from Whitney the hygienist to Whitney the Teeth Talk Girl? And how did you get 64,000 followers? I mean, you're like a rock star. I mean, really, there's rock stars that don't have 64,000 subscribers on their YouTube channel. So how did this journey start, and how did you get so successful?
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words, by the way. That was very nice. I'm happy you watched. That's so cool. It all started. So I graduated dental hygiene school in 2015. And I think I was the last graduating class that had to wait for their license in the post mail, the actual mail. Like everyone gets it emailed to them, I feel like in a day now, but I had to keep waiting for my license. I was a dental assistant at the time, long story short. I was so eager to become a hygienist, I was because I was working for my boss. I'm assisting on root canals. And I'm I just want to be a hygienist. He's you don't have your license yet. Anyway, so I was I got to do something. So I made a video about dental health education, because I was because that's what I was always doing too. Fun fact, during a root canal, say, I'd be so flossing. I was talking about things when people did not want to hear about things. They just want to fix their teeth. I was sorry, I'm about to be a hygienist, whatever. So then I was you know what, maybe I'll make a video, I'll post it online, that'll get my energy out. So the first video I made was, what's the best mouthwash, which is I know we all know there's not really a best, I don't think, but explaining the differences between a fluoride rinse and a antiseptic, whatever. And so I made that video, and it just kind of did really what it was. I think I forgot about it for a while. I made the video, and then all of a sudden I was whoa, people are watching this and people are asking for more. And I think the rest was kind of history. I was and then I got my dental hygiene license, and then I didn't really think about it at all, because I was so excited to start working. I was okay, I'm a hygienist now, I don't need these videos. But then when I started getting comfortable being a hygienist, clinically, and I cleaning teeth, and I was shoot, I kind of missed, that was fun making that video, I'm gonna make some more. So then I just started making some more, and literally, I don't know, 5 years later, I think last year, maybe 2 years, is when I started really making them consistently. And I just started adding, I used to do one a month, then I did 2 a month, then I did 1 a week. Now I'm doing 2 a week. You know what I mean? So that's, I think, maybe how it grew, because the consistency is a big deal. And it's been cool. It's been an organic, genuine journey. So I can't be more thankful for the people who watch, and for the people who message me really kind things. So at first I thought it was only the general public, the non-dental professionals watching, because that's who the videos, we all know what about mouthwashes and whatever, how to floss, us dental people, but the non-dental people. But then I started finding out that more and more dental people are watching, especially new grads, because they were like looking for help on how to do patient like education, like how to talk to patients on like a easy level and stuff. And so when I heard that was happening, I was like, what? I didn't expect that. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to make some videos for you guys too. I mean, I'm still newer. I'm only 5 years in, but I was like, I can definitely help the new grads and the students in dental hygiene, hygiene school and stuff. So started like doing that. So now I do one a week for the general public and one a week for the dental people, or to talk about dental careers. So hopefully that kind of answered it.
If you want to explode your YouTube channel, and you don't need to, I mean, you've already got 64,000. I mean, you're on my show, and I've only got what do I have? I have 14.6 thousand, and you have 64.6 thousand. I mean, that is just crazy numbers. But when you make a post on Dental Town, there's a YouTube icon. And when you on your YouTube channel, when you hit copy, and it just gives you a link, but the next button over is embed, and it shows you the link. So you can click that YouTube button, drop the link in there. Then your YouTube video, which still gets the views and all that stuff, is in Dental Town. And then everybody who does that says their YouTube channel explodes with dentists. Then you could go to Hygiene Town and put it in there and explode. So it's a great what do they call that, back link? But you made me think of something backlink. But you made me think of something else first when you're talking about that. And you said you were a dental assistant for 5 years before you became a hygienist, right?
So I've been a dental hygienist for 5 years, but I was a dental assistant for 2 or 3. I was dental assisting during dental hygiene school. So I got my bachelor's first.
You were a dental assistant during hygiene school?
Mm-hmm.
But were you already a dental assistant before you applied to dental hygiene school?
No.
Okay.
So I did my undergrad first. I have a bachelor's in biology and chemistry, and I thought I was going to be a dentist. That's a whole nother story. And then when I got to, I was about to take the DAT, and I was like, I don't think I want to do this. And I like freaked out, and I didn't take it, and I didn't apply to any schools. And then I applied to be an actor on Chicago PD, which is NBC's whatever. It's a show. I mean, Chicago Fire, Chicago, all those shows. And I got a gig on there. So I started working for NBC full time for a while. And I was like, I'm just going to be an actress. So I still got my degree. I did biology, chemistry, the whole thing. And I did some acting for a while, and I loved it. And then I had teeth in the back of my mind. I'm like, should I take the DAT? And I freaked out, and I was like, you know what? How about I just do hygiene first? Like, that was my initial. That'll be a segue. Like, it'll be a transition. We'll see if I really want to do this or if I want to be an actor. It was like a real hard thing for me. And then when I got in, I did dental hygiene school, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to dental school. I think I love this. Like, I started because I was like, I could still do hygiene. Like, it was just really comfortable for me. I didn't have to like work too hard. I don't know. Dental hygiene school is very hard, but it was nothing like being in dental school, obviously. So I was like, wow, I could live this life. I could do both acting and teeth. Perfect. So not to say that some dentists can't be actors too, but I just, you know what I mean? It was just too much. I didn't want to be like a business owner, the whole thing. So yeah, what was my answer? Yeah, so that was it. I had no dental experience, nothing other than like shadowing and pre-dental club, how you have to in your undergrad. But yeah, so when I was in dental hygiene school, I'm like, wow, I should probably like, get a job, because I was like cocktail waitressing. So I was like, maybe I should like do something in the dental field, because I was just acting, and I couldn't act anymore in dental hygiene school like full time. I could only do gigs on the weekends and evenings, so whatever. So yeah, I started the teeth stuff when I was into the teeth stuff.
Well, that actually makes a lot of sense, because I mean, you have, you can tell there's something special about your YouTube videos. I mean, they're not. I mean, really, they're a superior quality level. I mean, they're just, they really are. They're off the charts.
I work very hard. Thank you.
You were born to be on TV and YouTube. I have a face for iTunes. And you should only hear me audio.
No.
But I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing about what you just said, that the young kids in dental kindergarten school might not caught. But my gosh, when you're in HR, I mean, obviously, I think one of the rarest things, obviously, is a NFL quarterback. So you can say, oh, my quarterback sucks, but of 8 billion people on Earth, there might only be 5 or 10 people that could step in and do the job better. It's just very, very rare. So in HR, a lot of times you're looking for a dental hygienist, and you only got one application after 3 months. And but if you can get someone who's a dental assistant first, here's what's going to go down. When you get a dental hygienist who's never been a dental assistant, pardon my French, but they're prima donnas, and it doesn't work, because they'll get a no-show or a cancellation in my office, they were all dental assistants first. Everybody in my front office has to get x-ray certified. I mean, if the receptionist can't take you in the room and take an x-ray, I'd rather have a damn robot. But here's what happens. A hygienist gets a cancellation. She used to be a dental assistant. She'll triage an emergency. And it's like, hey, your 10 o'clock cleaning canceled, but we got a toothache coming in. And she'll take the PA, the bite wing. She'll do the whole workup. And then when I go in there and they decide that he just wants to extract it, I mean, I cannot believe how many 4-year degree hygienists say, well, I can't assist during a filling or a crown. You're going to have to move the patient to another room because this is my room and I'm a dental hygienist. So you want cross-trained. And man, it's to make everything flow really easy, you need at least one emergency room where no one's scheduled. So walk-in, overflow room. All the endodontists, oral surgeons have 2. So rooms are not your cost. It's the 35% reduction on your $1,000 crown that you agreed to with Blue Cross and Blue Shield's PPO. 35% of the nation's overhead is just the adjusted production from dental insurance. Next would be 25% labor, 10% lab, 6% supplies. Who gives a crap what the dental operatory cost? Just put them in there. And I love dental hygienists who were assistants first. And by the way, two of my dental assistants are now dentists, and the third one, she's just about, I think she's just about ready to get into hygiene school. My gosh, that was a big distraction from what you're talking about. But so what is your goal? What are you trying to do on your YouTube channel? Is it a B2C, business to consumer, where you're trying to educate them on brushing, flossing? What's your goal?
So I have 2 things. I want to say one more thing before my goal. So having said that, I do agree. It makes it way easier to be a hygienist and like go with the flow and be a team player when you've been an assistant. But I have a video that's all about that because there's a lot of girls that stress, and boys, men and women, that stress in dental hygiene school. Like, I wasn't an assistant first. Am I going to be okay? And I always tell them, it's okay. You're going to be fine. Like, it literally, you can learn on the job how to take a PA and triage. You might be more nervous to do it, but once you do it, you'll be fine. So I just want to say that because I made a whole video about that. My goal, like, right, everyone's different. It depends on the person, I do believe. But my goal is, so when I first started, I thought, I read about, like, I don't know, not even read about, but so I was a big Jenna Marbles fan.
Jenna Marbles?
Jenna Marbles, she's the YouTuber, and Lily Singh. And I was into all these girls that were like getting acting gigs because their YouTube channel blew up. And so like at the beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe this is the way. Because becoming an actor is like really hard, right? Like every actor knows it. You're either starving or you're Meryl Streep and winning Oscars. Like there's like not really too many middles. So I feel like, I don't know, that was always my goal. Like, oh my goodness, if I get enough subscribers, I'll become an actress. People will want me in their movies, whatever. That's not the goal anymore. Now I truly am just like, because that's, I didn't know what I was doing. Now that I know what I'm doing, I feel so I want to continue. I feel empowered and I feel like I'm in the right spot to just keep making dental hygienists and people in general feel good about their teeth, feel comfortable about their teeth. I feel like it's just like YouTube's free. And I feel like everyone deserves free to know how to take care of their teeth. They shouldn't have to pay for an online class to learn how to floss correctly. You know what I mean? So I just felt really good about like, let's give the people information to make it healthy. Having said that, I just want like free oral education for all, right? That's kind of my goal there. And I understand not all communities have internet. So that's when I kind of got into Happy Teeth. And I realized I need to find another way for those who don't have internet.
So, you wanted to be an actress. I want to talk about that. Was that before hygiene, before assisting? Yeah. When did you? Yeah. What was the first thing you focused on? Were you like in grammar school when you decided you wanted to be an actress, or what was that?
So it's funny enough, I always wanted to be a dentist. So that's what I always told myself. I loved going to the dentist as a kid. I wanted to be a dentist. But my whole life, I did acting, right? Like, yeah, I was in plays, I was in theater, everything, drama club, short films. I was doing it, and I decided in college, kind of when I was pre-dental, I was like, shoot, that's when I realized, I think in my heart, I want to be an actor. Like I was doing all these prereqs, physics, you know it. Oh my goodness. And I was fine, but I was just like, I think I want to be an actor. And so, yeah, that's when I graduated when I graduated from my bachelor's, my undergrad, that's when I started doing acting kind of full time, and I loved it. But then in the back of my mind, I wanted teeth still. So I think it's just always been a dueling, like, can I be an actor? Can I be a dentist? I didn't know. So then I figured out, like, that's when I did my, like I said earlier about my transition. I was going to just do dental hygiene school as a transition, but I fell in love with it. And here we are. So I'm happy to be a dental hygienist and still be able to get my acting energy out now in my videos. When we do parodies and stuff, that is so fun for me. I still do some short films here and there as well when I have the time.
So where does that come from? And like what's the goal in acting? Is it the challenge of becoming a character? Is it overcoming fear of speech? Or everybody always says, I can't believe how many really successful dentists have said, I'd love to come on your show, but that's the scariest thing I can think of. Public speaking, and one of them is like the smartest endodontist I know. And he's just petrified of coming on YouTube. So was this something you had of overcoming fear of public speaking, or where did this come from?
Good question. No, I've always been very comfortable in front of an audience, like too comfortable. I feel like I still, when I have something prepared, I guess I get nervous because I don't want to ruin the information. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing like a CE type thing, I'm always like, oh, I hope I say it right. But public speaking in general, if I just get to be myself, is really relaxing to me. I don't know. I love the energy. I love connecting with people and connecting with a crowd. I love it so much. My videos are really fun because I look into that camera and I know I'm talking to the people that comment on I don't know how to explain it. It's always been something embedded. I don't know. I loved speech class. That was like the easiest class I've ever. I'm just really lucky to have that.
Who was your favorite mentor?
I'm a big Meryl Streep fan for sure. I love all the new Natalie Portman, Emma Stone. I'm into almost everyone.
Who's better, Meryl Streep or Kathy
Jennifer
Bates?
Lawrence. What was that?
Who's better, Meryl Streep or Kathy Bates? Kathy Bates?
She's the one in American Horror Story, right? I don't know her that well, so I feel like every actor has their own.
Well, I
want
to give an acting business deal. I remember, there's only about 5 or 6 guys in world history that made more than 60 films, and most of them are dead, but Oliver Stone's still alive. And he was talking about actors, and he said something, and I heard the owner of Saturday Night Live say the same thing, and then I keep hearing it. You see patterns, and they said they asked the guy on Saturday Night Live, who's that guy that owns the top? Yeah, Lorne Michaels. They said, who's your favorite Saturday Night Live comedian of all time? He said, he said Will Ferrell, hands down. And the guy said, why? Is he the funniest? He goes, it has nothing to do with being funny. It has to do with utility. If with all these prima donna actors have so much pushback, and Will Ferrell's like, blah, 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 you just give him the part, and he's a professional, and he goes and does it. And then Oliver Stone said the same thing about Meryl Streep and Kathy Bates. He said, those were his 2 favorites, and this is why. And he says, Meryl Streep, you could tell her to be a crack addict living behind a dumpster or a queen. She doesn't care. She just wants to be the part. And if I tell her you're going to be a crack addict living behind a dumpster, she wants to be the best crack addict living behind a dumpster. So she has no ego involved, and it's just utility. And that's what I was talking about with the dental assistant and the hygienist. I mean, utility is the greatest compliment you can have. I mean, okay, you're a $40 an hour hygienist, but we have a cancellation. Now can't you do the job of a $20 an hour assistant and triage this patient? And if I have to do a filling and you can't assist me during a filling, then I'm going to drive you back to Phoenix College and ask for a refund. I mean, how the hell did you get a dental hygiene degree and you can't assist me on a filling?
The unfortunate thing is they do not teach you that in dental hygiene school. You have no idea how to hold a high-speed suction. You know what I mean? So I feel like sometimes you have to learn on the job for that, and that can be stressful, right? But once you learn how to assist, I think assisting is way harder than hygiene for me. There's so much to know. And things change. I work at a very progressive office. There's always like a new etch or a new whatever. And so I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to be so hard on those girls. I agree.
Tough, man. A good leader is tough. I mean, you're not going to win the Super Bowl if you don't have
They will learn. They will learn. But just because they don't know it, they just didn't learn it, right? Like,
Well, a lot of that is the doctor's fault because they have two problems that they can't figure out. One of them is, they don't know how to get rid of cancellations and no shows. And I said, well, it's really easy. All you do is take the planet Earth and throw it into the sun, and there'll never be a no show again. But as long as there's 8 billion crazy monkeys trapped on the surface of Earth, they're going to be. I mean, look at the 10 Commandments from 500 BC: lying, cheating, stealing. I mean, nothing's changed except for we've added like 10 more really good ones that were actually better than the first 10. And my gosh, so you just need that diversification. You need to be able to put a different hat on. You need to have utility to do that. But here's the other thing I wanted to go with that acting thing first, and that is so many. And this is more common, I hear, in girls than guys. I mean, just from my little small sample size of, they got out of dental school. They went and worked as an associate for this old man, and he ran the 5 women in a certain way. And then he sold it to her, and then she gives the same order, like, hey, get me a cup of coffee and go pick up my dry cleaner. And they're like, what am I? What do I look like? Your slave? I mean, you know what I mean? So a little different deal. And then sometimes they say in the most important thing about being a dentist is your treatment plan presentation, because I got 4 boys turned into 6 grandkids, and you look at the transition, like, what is dentistry going to be like for my 6 grandkids? And my gosh, if my granddaughter, Evelyn, goes to 2 dentists, and they each tell her she has 10 cavities, and one convinces her to get them all done, and one's like, I don't even understand it or whatever, and doesn't get it done. Well, I don't care if you have your FAGD, MAGD, and you do the best fillings in the world, and you got 10 lasers. You didn't do anything because you can't present it. And so many women tell me, they go, yeah, but I'm not the leader type. I'm not the sales type. And it's like, well, do you think Meryl Streep is really a crack whore? I mean, she can play a murderer without being a murderer. You can walk into your dental office and I say just put on your Hollywood hat. You show up, you're shy, you're introvert, you don't like to sell dentistry, you're happiest when you're alone in your closet, but now it's time to put on your Hollywood act. And you're going to go in there, and your team needs a leader, and when you stand in front of that dentist, in front of that patient, you need to put on your Meryl Streep hat, and you need to go all Hollywood. And man, your YouTube channel, you could pick up a lot of acting, and I mean, just the way you flow. And I mean, it's really interesting to watch.
Thank you.
I just, so is acting done, or is it over now, or what's the story?
So, like I said, I still am able to do some short film gigs on the side. Super busy with like the 2 companies now. Plus, I work clinically. So, unfortunately, it's just hard when you like so many things. I like so many things. So, I have to really figure out what I'm doing, what I need to spend most of my time on, because I love them all. But I'm part-time clinically now. So, that's helping a lot. But I do it on the side a little here and there. But I get most of my energy out in my videos. So, that's what.
So, did you in your acting, did you cross-train? I mean, did you, like if you go to the Tempe Arts Center and they have classes on improv, comedy, and acting. Did you ever do comedy or improv to learn different skill sets?
Yeah, I went to Second City for a little bit. I don't have any, like if someone's listening from Second City, like I did not get any degrees. I just took some classes here and there, but that helped a lot. Improv is great for everything in life. I believe everyone should take an improv class. I actually, speaking of, everything relates to a video, but I have a video on how to be confident at work for new grads. And one of my tips is take an improv class. Like it just helps you be confident in life. So but yeah, I've done some acting classes, drama, comedy, but it's mostly, I learned so much from Chicago PD working on that. My gosh, like being in it, like, I know that sounds wild, but it was, working with real actors that are in Hollywood was really, really cool. So that was I always put that on the resume and it helps a little, but no, I'm not like a formally trained actor, just here and there little things. I'm a formally trained biology person though. I got that degree. So.
What is that speech association, that lecture association club that's in all the cities? Oh my gosh, Toastmasters. And you just said
Oh,
something
I've heard
very,
of that.
very, very profound. So, the problem with dentistry is, you're not going to get accepted to med school or dent school if you get a C or a D in calculus. Applied math is physics. You can't get a C or D in that. Applied physics is chemistry, and then applied chemistry is biology. And those are the four horsemen of all science and knowledge. And then, of course, you're a Homo sapien, so our whole world's in applied biology with dentistry and all that kind of stuff. But it attracts people that the craziest party they ever went to in their life was in the library. I mean, dentists are usually, they don't have enough personality to become an accountant. So when you can't present treatment, when you can't talk to your staff, when you're not comfortable in your shoes, like if you're in Phoenix, I've told so many people and they've done it, I said, go down to the Tempe Art Institute or whatever, and it's real low dollars. They have evening and weekend classes, and they have improv courses, they have acting courses, they have comedy club, Toastmasters. Toastmasters is amazing. Most of the people that go to Toastmasters, if they didn't gone to Toastmasters, their next stop would have been like a shrink, a psychiatrist or something. And you just have to get over that. I mean, I remember when I went through the comedy club, people would go up there and bomb and come back and just break down and start bawling. And I'm just like, dude, that was your grandma sitting out there. She thought you did great, and she's already posted your picture on Facebook. Where does I don't know where this fear comes from, but and I also told Dennis that you need to learn how to hustle. And what they do is they come out of school $400,000 in debt. They get a job Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Oh wow, full-time 40-hour job. The number of hours per week in most rising countries is actually 48 hours. It's 6 8-hour days a week, but they can't talk. And I say, well, go get a job on Friday night at a bartender. You might make a couple $100 tips or a waitress or whatever. But if you're really shy of people, start with drunk people at a bar. And if you can learn how to talk to Irish people at a bar, you're going to be good. And you're not going to be a good dentist when no one accepts the treatment plan, and no one's going to accept the treatment plan when you're sitting there saying, you have an interproximal lesion on number 3, you're going to need an MO, it's a mesial-occlusal composite, do you have any questions? And the patient's like, I don't even know what you said. What the hell's going on? I always called them a flossing cavity. Everywhere you brush, you've never had a filling. But I noticed you have 15 fillings. They're all in between your teeth. One glance at your mouth looks like you haven't flossed 3 times in your whole life. And, so just putting it in terms, and that's what comedy does. I love comedy more than acting, because acting, you can do another take, cut, whereas Broadway's a skill set higher than acting because it's live. And my gosh, you go in there and it's live and you're standing in front of the patient, and there's no props with comedians. I mean, you just got a microphone. That's the only prop you have. That's why I can't stand Carrot Top, because he went into comedy and brought a box of props out there. It's like, Carrot Top, that's what comedy is. No props. And it's the same thing in dental lectures. The best dental lectures I ever saw was the dentist, 15 minutes for the presentation. Is like literally I watched this one guy, very famous guy, have a complete breakdown at the Chicago Midwinter because they lost his carousels of slides. And I said, dude, if I went to your mom and said, can you give a 3-hour lecture on your children? And she said, not without my slides, I would think you had a very abusive childhood. You're a dentist. You love this stuff. You have no props. Go up there like a comedian. Eddie Murphy doesn't have a slideshow presentation. And the best dental lectures in the world, no props, no slides. They just own the room, and they're just, talking directly to the people. So learn your social skills, because a dentist is going to make, you notice who makes all the money? It's never the A students. It's always the C students in dental school that now own 5 offices and are just crushing it. Know the people skill stuff. And so I think that art form is much needed in healthcare.
I agree. Communication is huge. Bedside manner is huge, right? I'm just always so careful. I'm very, very sensitive, and I I'm very I stand for and I'm with everyone who has anxiety and is stressed to talk to people, because I get it. And I feel like my whole life is acting. I'm pretty genuine now, and I could talk to almost anybody, but I was probably one of those people. As easy as it is, to talk in front of a whole crowd of 1,000 people or something, it's not easy for me one-on-one in the op. So now it is, but at the beginning, it took a long time for me to be comfortable on how to do patient education one-on-one in the op. So that's what I hope my videos help those who are like me and just are like, how do I talk to patients and be comfortable? And I know when I say this, people are like, they won't believe it. They're like, yeah, right, Whitney, you're just saying that. But no, it's like true. Like I will give you the numbers to my bosses and my coworkers, and they'll be like, wow, Whitney has grown. She didn't even know how to explain what a deep clean. Like she was like, SRP, we're gonna scale her. I was kind of one of those people. So I get it. It's hard, but I think it's something you can work to learn. Just because it's not embedded in you, it might be really hard, and you might need, a lot of help, but you can get there.
The first time I ever got threatened to be sued, and here's another thing you got to think of. Why, 32
stressful.
years, why do I not have a suing problem? And then the research is very clear that when you look at dental and medical malpractice, all the claims are going to the same 5% doctors over and over and over. And they started realizing it didn't make sense because when they're sorting it with algorithms, they're like, well, they got board certified. It seems like they're doing everything right. And then they found out after years of studying these people that indeed they were just assholes. And I see it on Dental Town all the time where a patient will leave a really nasty message on the phone. And Doc's best idea is to call his malpractice attorney and ask his satanic attorney what he should do. And, of course, they just want to start a big war and bill out $400 an hour. And I always pick up the phone. And I'll never forget when I called that guy. He was so damn mad he wouldn't come to the phone. I was talking to his wife, and I said, well, hey, I'm my dental office on the way home. Can I just stop by? I'll just stop by. I'll be on the curb. Come on, you got your doc on the curb. I just trying to understand where this guy's. But it was over. He went to the hygienist, and she said she needed a deep cleaning. And he'd been going to some place, every 6 months, and it was a perio mess. And that's tough because, maybe he moved from Texas and thought that guy was the best dentist in the world, and that's only because the guy was a dove hunter, And it's so if they trust the last guy, and the last guy was not having your clinical standards, you got to establish trust. How do you think in your acting skills, when you're a comedian, you get like maybe one joke, and by the way, I've still got 100 comedy clubs in my career. That was my side hobby. I actually think I became a dental lecturer just to get my kicks out in comedy stuff, and it's been all my complaints.
Stand up?
Oh, yeah, because it's funny because, all the complaints like, he was rude and foul-mouthed. And I said, what did I say? They tell me the words. I go, okay, in Hollywood, that's PG-13. So if you want to get butthurt over a PG-13 movie, and then I start naming off films. Did you ever see this film? Oh, that's rated R. Kathy Bates, hell, she had a nude scene in a jacuzzi with Jack Nicholson. It's like, I never had a nude scene at the Chicago Midwinter, so people are their mind is thinking they're going to church and a dental convention. And it's tough. Context is everything. But when you go to a comedy club, it's Friday night, you've had a few drinks, and, you can get away with so much. But here's what I noticed with lectures over the past. You go to a lecture, and then you'd stay over, and then the weekend, you'd stay at his house and go fishing at the lake or in the bayou or whatever, and he'd be telling you about his lecture. And I just sit there and said, dude, your lecture, you lost half the audience didn't come back from lunch. And by the end of the day, it was like me and 3 other guys. I said, if you would have gave your lecture like this, you would have killed it. You would have had people leaving other lectures coming in yours. How come you're so painfully boring to listen to when you lecture, and you're just funner than hell in a fishing boat catching redfish in the bayou? And it's just about getting them to be themselves, be comfortable in their own skin, don't try to be someone else. I don't understand. I just think it's the most important skill set. But what advice would you give dentists? Because we sell the invisible. When I go to sell you an iPhone, you know the difference in iPhone and Android. You know the difference in Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper. You know that Wendy's has square burgers because they don't cut any corners, and that Burger King shit is round. You know all this stuff, but I'm selling the invisible. I just told you have 4 cavities, and what are you going to do? You can't Google it. You have to trust me. So when you're with everything you've learned in all your videos, how do you think Doc, like a comedian, he walks in there, you can have a bomb, but you can't have 3 bombs in a row. They'll be off the stage. that dentist walks in that room and he has to establish trust out of the gate. And what does my homie do? He walks in there, doesn't even establish eye contact, doesn't touch the person, shake their hand, or fist bump them. He just starts looking at the FMX. I see a DO on 3 and an MO on 4. And then, can you lean back, please? I mean, how do you get them to walk in there and in 60 seconds or less establish rapport and trust?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have a pretty strong opinion on that. I think being genuine is key, no matter if you have social anxiety or not. Like, if you are genuine and tell them what they need to know, I think visuals are great to explain it on their level. They did not go to dental school or dental hygiene school. So I think an intraoral camera is helpful. You can show them if you can see it. If it's interproximal and you can't see it, I always show the x-rays and I say, do you see this right here? This is your enamel. You see that? And I'll show like the little dark line and I'll be like, usually if it's right here, we'll watch it. If it goes past, then it's into the dentin. Like, I explain it. And sometimes I'm like, did that make sense? And they're like, not really, but thank you for trying or something. And I'm like, that's fine. Let's go over it one more time. Like, I just try my best to really show. And then then the dentists will come in and do the same exact thing. And it's really, I think, very important that the dentist and the dental hygienist are on the same page. So consistency helps for the patient to understand and know that you're not just saying whatever you're saying. And so I think visuals are great. I think re-explaining twice is great. And having two different people explain things. That's how we do it. I'm really thankful to be in an amazing office. I think we're all really focused on patient education and being genuine, and we're in it to help people, so that's what we do. We're all about the intraoral.
But
we're all
just
about
for
education.
young kids, you remember, young kids, they just have a big heart and very small brain or experience. Then by the time they get as old as me, their heart is jaded and broken, and people are crazy monkeys. And I just want to remind you that the Supreme Court does not believe in patient education because, and I can prove it to you when dentists say, well, I bought Casey and I educated my patients, and I'll say, okay, which one of your patients in the room here is the smartest one? Like, oh, that's Betty Lou in room 3. And I walk in there and I just pull out a pano. This is back in the day, and I pull out a pano and I said, my God, this is why we take panos. And then I point down the right mental frame, and do you see that cyst there? If we don't cut out that cyst, you'll lose all the teeth on the right side. And she's like, oh my God. And then I say, and you know how I can tell this is genetic, inherited from your mom on mitochondrial RNA, not from your father? Look at it bilaterally. It's in the same place on the other side. That means you got it from your mom, not your dad. I got her totally convinced to have her 2 mental foramens extracted, which is totally baloney, which is why the Supreme Court did 100 years ago. They said, look, the asymmetry of the information in healthcare is so asymmetrical that the dentist is not innocent until proven guilty. The dentist is guilty with the exam, the diagnosis, the exam, and the treatment plan until doc proves that he's innocent. So your patient didn't go to 4 years to become a hygienist, 8 years to become a dentist, and you need to educate them enough so that they're motivated to follow a leader and brush and floss and take care of their teeth. But when shit goes south, there's no educated patients. You are guilty till proven innocent. And I get it. I mean, I grew up with 5 sisters. I can play Barbie dolls 40 different ways. I mean, I was the Barbie king, and I never changed a transmission. I'll go to the mechanic and he'll say, well, do you hear that noise? That's your lifters. I don't even know what a lifter is, but I know that you put Vaseline inside of a Barbie doll boot if it's more than like 2 inches long, so it doesn't tear when you slide it on her foot. So everybody can be a genius in their one thing. Like if you're an electrician, you really know electrician, but notice your electrician will not do your plumbing or electrical. So when you stay in your lane, you can be a genius, but when you get out of your lane, you're going to be lucky if you understand it like you're explaining it to a 5-year-old. How did you push back on New York Times saying there's no research on floss? I mean, what were we supposed to do? Just kidnap identical twins and, send one to a family with no floss and one to a family with floss and control for every, how did you handle that one?
So I am such a, I find someone who I trust, like a mentor, and I hear what they say and it works. If I don't know what to say, like to make it sound good and quick, my boss, the way she was saying it, I was like, yes. She was just like, just another way. We were just honest. We were like, literally the research. I mean, when you read the research, it's showing that there's not enough research to prove that flossing is effective. So they want to pay a bunch of money to do the research to show that's effective, even though we already know from the little research we do have, because it doesn't need a huge clinical trial to show that food is stuck in between teeth. And when the floss moves it off, obviously there's not going to be a cavity as if you get it, whatever. The point is, so I tried to say that in like an easy way to patients. Like, it's probably a money thing. Don't worry about it. Keep flossing. It's crazy. And you know what I did actually, to be funny? I saw that Steve Harvey did like a little excerpt about it. And so I was like, watch the Steve Harvey clip. I know that is like not scientific based, but he said something so funny. He was on TV and he was like, I don't care. He said something like, this is definitely just in summary, but he said, I don't care if people are telling me flossing isn't working or whatever they're saying. He's like, when I see what that string looks like after I get it out of my mouth, I know that I want to keep doing it because I don't want that crap in between my teeth. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, it's like a no brainer. And so when I kind of say that to patients and just be serious, like my normal self, and they'd be like, oh, weird, it was like no big deal. But of course, there's going to be those patients that are like, well, no, they said it's not important. I'm never doing it. And I'm like, well, you got to do something if you don't like floss, since you're not listening to what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I was like, what about interproximals? What about water flossing? Like, I would still talk to them. I was like, you still need to clean in between your teeth if you don't believe in floss right now. Like, my job is to tell you. Yeah, so that's how I handle it. How did you handle it?
Well, my deal is, it's your own personality. You got to do what your own personality is, and they're uptight and they're scared and they're nervous. And my first go-to is just always make a joke. And I think there's something about comedy or laughing or whatever. And it's never too soon for me. I mean, even when there's a horrible tragedy, I'm already testing my jokes. Like, they're like, dude, the person's still on fire in the ambulance truck, and you're making a joke. But and that's why I jumped on Joan Rivers the instant she died, because I knew Joan. If you said, well, how long should we wait? Joan Rivers should have said, shut up and start ripping me a new one. So your Teeth Talk girl.
But you didn't want to tell what you said to people
about what, the floss? No, I just said it was a great piece, because it shows that everything is not black and white. Everything is binomial. I mean, there's up, down, left, right. And I don't know, I wouldn't even know how to conduct an experiment, but I know it would cause a lot of human rights atrocities. Like, I'd have to kidnap me two identical twins at birth.
You did say that.
And then I'd have to,
used your joke.
And when you steal two identical twins at birth, usually their mother gets pissed off. And so I don't even know how I would do that. But on your
that's good. I like that. That's funny. You're funny.
So you got the youtube.com Teeth Talk, and then you have givehappyteeth.com, and then Instagram, your Teeth Talk girl, with another 18,000 followers on Instagram. So I want you to talk to the old people right now. What's the difference? Because you're obviously you're probably younger than my boy's 30. Are you even 30?
30. Yeah, I was born 1990.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Eric was born in 89. So what's the difference? Explain it to an old person. What's the difference between your following on YouTube versus your website, givehappyteeth.com, versus Instagram? In fact, let's just start with YouTube to Instagram. What is it the same people following you on Instagram that following on YouTube, or is it a different crowd?
Good question. So I'm not really into the numbers anymore. I'm really lucky to have a team that helps me. So I don't even know. I'm pretty sure that the Instagram people are not the same people as YouTube. I mean, I don't think, because obviously there's more on YouTube for me than Instagram. So I'm assuming a lot of those Instagram people are also following me on YouTube. But then I started learning, like, no, I think these are totally different people by the statistics that one of my business partners gave me. So I was like, wait, I just figured like the YouTube people, they're not that interested in Instagram. They'll just be on YouTube. But I'm starting to learn that these Instagram people are like a whole nother, they don't even know I have a YouTube sometimes. So I don't really know how you're supposed to find that out. But I'm pretty confident in my case that most of my Instagram people are not even aware I have a YouTube, and all the YouTube people aren't aware I have Instagram, even though I say it a million times. But that just doesn't always.
Well, I just love numbers. I love the math, because I think that humans are the reason I love statistics.
But it's interesting.
Is because people are so disconnected from reality that everything they say there's almost no data for, and a lot of the things that data can't find. But the things that jump out at me is YouTubers that's 72% boys, Whereas your Facebook and Instagram is a 50-50 split. I mean, the last on Instagram was that it was 49% male, 51% female. So, it's kind of like a lot of people always say. A lot of people always say.
I should talk to my digital marketer before this. I didn't even get up on my.
I don't know what it is, but like, say my 4 sons and me. I mean, we're just YouTubers. I mean, if I was gonna watch Jim Cramer's on the deal, well, if I go in and watch it on cable, it's going to be like a 15-minute commercial every 15 minutes. But if I go Google the same Jim Cramer, CNNBC, today's date, I just love YouTube. I mean, you pay them $15 a month. There's no commercial. I pay my cable like $300 a month, and I don't even have an option of getting it without cable. I mean, cable is just for, I don't know how desperate you have to be for information to want to watch cable, because the commercial is just insane. But YouTubers are boys. Why would you guess YouTuber? I mean, 7 out of 10. It's 74% are men, whereas all the other social media sites are 50-50. Why do you think YouTubers are men?
That's mine?
No. For all of YouTube.
Oh, I was like, I don't think that's right. I'm pretty sure I have mostly female audience, because I'm like about to call it. You're saying in general.
Yeah, on Instagram.
Why are so many guys on
you're
YouTube?
18,000 followers
it's not
on,
my numbers.
on Instagram. Yeah, that's probably
Zach's
50-50.
Gonna be like, what the heck, Whitney? Okay. Oh, that's just a general question. Yeah, interesting. I have no idea. What do you think? I have no idea.
I
They don't like commercials.
I don't know. I think it might be the
girls like commercials and stuff.
I think it might be the algorithm thing. Like if you are watching a video on the Philippines independence, you watch one video. I mean, they'll serve you up every damn YouTube video known to man. Where on I don't like social media because it's just last in, first out. It's just, you can tell the whole design is just to keep you on the site as long as they can.
Oh, for sure.
None of the outside links work. It's just entertainment. And if it's more shocking and crazy and all that kind of stuff. But so let's go to givehappyteeth.com. Feel good gear for health pros.
Yeah.
And you got all kinds of, you're rocking Happy Teeth and all this stuff like that. So tell us about your journey there.
Yeah. So thank you for asking. I'm so excited. So it all started with all my followers or subscribers on YouTube were always asking, make a t-shirt, make a Teeth Talk Girl t-shirt, make some merch, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't think that's my thing. I don't know. And then one day I had like an epiphany, and because I was literally searching for my own, I wanted a purse in the shape of a tooth, because I currently have like a cupcake purse, I have a taco purse, I have a hamburger backpack. I love that vibe. I think it's cute. So I tried to buy myself a tooth purse and it didn't exist. So I was like, I think we need to make this. So we made one, and we started. I was telling everyone, I was like, I made this for myself. Do you think you guys will want this? Is this something fun? And everyone was like, yes. I was like, okay, so I'll make more. So after we perfected my tooth purse for myself, I was like, okay, we'll sell them. But I didn't want to just sell them. I wanted to do something good with it. So that's when I was kind of talking earlier. I was like, the healthcare for all thing. I was like, let's figure this out. I want to, like Tom's shoes, like they donated a pair of shoes for. I want to do something like that. And I was like, but I want it to be dental related. So I was like, for every tooth purse purchased, we'll donate a dental health kit to someone in need. So that's what I'm kind of in charge of. That's my big part of the company, and I love it. And so I organize different like women and children's shelters, like homeless shelters, whoever needs the dental health kit for every item purchase. So then we changed it to every item purchase, because it's not just a toothbrush anymore. It's every item purchase, because we made more than one item, because I learned you can't just sell a toothbrush and like that won't be sustainable forever, because someone's going to knock it off very soon. Now that you know what I mean? Like someone's going to make it with crappy material very soon. So I'm like really excited for my beautiful purse, but I knew people are going to knock it off. So I made some more. We have luggage tags. We do have t-shirts just with the logo name. We also have a canvas toe. We're working on a backpack right now for dental professionals and healthcare professionals. Nurses are like a really awesome group that I love to be a part of. So we're working to like make a great backpack for work, Anyway, long story short, again, for every item purchase, we're donating the healthcare kits to someone in need. And that's when I was like, I want to really combine this to oral health. I don't want to just give these dental health kits to groups that, and just be like, bye, enjoy. So that's what we're doing right now because of COVID. Everything's kind of like, we were supposed to do them in person. I was going to do presentations. So every time say I go to a women and children's shelter, I donate, we give all the goodie bags. And then I would do a presentation. This is how you use the floss that's in your bag. This is how you brush your teeth. This is how you know what I mean? So I want to give an actual presentation so that I don't just give it. And I have this database of hygienists that want to do this with me and want to volunteer and give their time and help those in need. So we're currently in the process of making it a virtual presentation because we had it all set up for in-person presentations. So we're working on that right now. And I'm really excited for that to start. So that's what Happy Teeth is. It's purses and bags for healthcare pros. We're trying to make it easier. I've never found a backpack that I like to bring to work. So we've been working since last October on a perfect backpack and like a work tote. But until then, we have all the fun things, the toothbrush, the tooth luggage tag, and the canvas tote and the t-shirt.
So the nonprofits are really, really suffering because when you're rich and you're having a good economy, you throw some money at these charities. And we just had the guy on, Bill Blazing, Charitable Dentistry during a pandemic, and he's the he's the executive director of America's Dentist Care Foundation, which does all the behind scenes. Whenever you see the media show up and there's a convention center and there's 50 operatories and all the dentists are volunteers, and they said we did $1 million worth of free dentistry. Well, that logistics. Well, who brings the compressors, the chairs, who does all that? And it's that guy, and their money's obviously it's plummeting during times like that. So it's going to be strange times for all the B2C people. So when you're looking at a purse, I've never had an urge to buy a purse. I don't. But the one thing I did notice about purses that was pretty interesting, I saw another pattern when laptops came out. Everybody, Michael Dell, his dad was an orthodontist. And his brother was an ophthalmologist. And I remember when Dell went public and I was lecturing at TDA. I mean, you get a lot of inside information about Dell. But I remember his dad, who's an orthodontist, was telling everyone that, people keep telling him, I want a lower weight computer. And they just like freaking out that they want it lower weight. But Michael wanted to build a computer that dumbass can drop. Because, they're humans. He wanted durable. He didn't want some flimsy stuff. But they kept doing studies, and you put this briefcase, this Dell computer in your briefcase, but then you add a can of pop and this and that and all that. And so they would weigh all these briefcases at airports, and like they get off the deal, and your briefcase is like 18 pounds. And 2 pounds is the computer, and your first idea is to, make that less weight. And with purses, holy crap. I mean, if you just went up to the average person, turned it upside down, dumped it on the table, at least 3 mice would run for their lives. It's crazy. But is this Happy Teeth? Is this more, what in a bag? Is that more hygienist? Is it more assistants? But is it all girls?
So... No and no. So it's for all healthcare professionals. We started with dental professionals, dentists, hygienist assistants. Even I have lab techs that have reached out to me and said they love it. So it's just kind of celebrating all forms of dentistry. And we're slowly like working into include nurses next. And I want the whole healthcare world to be able to enjoy these. So that's kind of, it's open to everyone, but we started with all dental people, because of course I'm a dental person. But yeah, my coworker, I have another dentist at my office. He's a man. He is a man and he loves the canvas tote. Like a lot of them are unisex. So the t-shirts, boys and girls alike. So I think I'm all about including everyone.
So you are also a very Vogue person. When you what that means on the cover of Vogue is that some girls, you look at their high school graduation picture, their wedding picture, and their open casket funeral, and it's just like the same girl with the same 3 haircuts. Half of your pictures, I've had to ask some of my coworkers, is that her? And I want to ask you, in that white dress with the long red hair standing in front of kids, is that you? And
we're on the Tooth Fairy.
Is that the Tooth Fairy?
I think it's the pink hair. Yeah, I'm the Tooth Fairy.
The pink hair. Yeah. I would need a DNA analysis to know that was you. You are seriously
no, I'm very good. Thank you. It's all about acting, right? Like I love playing different characters, so it's so fun. I used to dress up. Well, I still would, but it's just COVID times. I dress up as a Tooth Fairy and go to all the schools around me, and I love to just.
But don't you think that's a really bad message, though? The Tooth Fairy, and should be stopped. You're going around to schools teaching these young kids to sell their body for money, you know. And,
Right.
it's a bad message.
So you're too
It
funny.
leads
Oh
to
my
other
gosh.
things being, I just think it's got to stop. You
No,
don't want to tell my
not at
grandchildren you can
all.
sell your
No,
body for
I do.
money.
Oh my goodness. I knew from your Instagram, like your personal one, I was like, this guy's he's gonna be witty. I know this just from looking through. I like your photos all the time, by the way. I think you're super funny. I'll never forget the COVID one where it said like COVID test being given. There was a sign, it was like in the rear. And you were like, I didn't think that's where the test went. I thought it was your
Well,
notes.
I want to tell you something about that. That's very, very scientific and true. And that is, we're in the middle of election, and I don't want to go into religion, sex, politics, and violence and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of people in journalism, they always complain. Why do people care what Willie Nelson thinks? I mean, he's why do people listen to actors like you want to be? Like, why should I listen to some stupid actor about some cause? Well, let me absolutely tell you, the U.S. government has had an 11% approval rating since I got out of high school in 1980. That means 9 out of 10 people are giving both birds a deal. And when they have a tie around their neck, usually Americans, when a politician shows up in a suit and tie, you just assume the tie is to keep the foreskin from going up over their head. And as soon as their lips start moving, they're going to start lying. So they have no trust. So when Willie Nelson's already told you in the interview, look, I'm stoned, I didn't pay my taxes, I'm probably going to jail. Why would that guy lie? He just told you 3 things he shouldn't tell you. So when you are inappropriate, when you like liars would never want to drop the F word because, it's like, they're so worried about the perfect lie. And when you're being inappropriate and you're being off the cuff, not only is it funny because they weren't expecting it, but they trust you more. I mean, some people, their whole body language is just like, okay, that guy's a politician. He's not going to say anything trivial. So I like to be off color just because, if I can say that off color joke, and by the way, it's kind of funny because my program is actually anti-dental town. I mean, I can't tell you how many advertisers we've lost because I said a joke about their product or I said the truth. I mean, I say, no, I say, that thing sucks. Or, oh, you want to buy that? That's funny. I know I've podcasted 100 endodontists and every one of them would never buy that product. Should I ask them the question? And then I get an email. They're an advertiser in Dental Town magazine, and they just put in their cancellation slip. I don't even care. I mean, I really don't even care.
I get you, do you?
So who are you giving these bags to? The dental kits. And what is in a dental kit? And by the way, homies listening to this, dentistry is the number 1 disease in the world. There's 8 billion people. More people have a disease in your category. And then let's go to oral cancer. Yeah, interesting about oral cancer, it's the only one that hasn't increased its 5-year survival rate since I was born. And when I was born, the Dead Sea was just merely sick. And when I watched Sesame Street, Big Bird was a pterodactyl, and they haven't made any progress since then. So what up with that? So what is,
I do
what
believe
is,
birds
what is,
were once dinosaurs. I'm all about that hashtag Jurassic Park. Anyway, yes, no, we are starting with, so again, COVID kind of made this all. So what's in the bag is 1 year supply of toothbrushes, 1 year supply of floss, and a large tube of toothpaste that I don't know will last a full year, but it's very large, so it might. I haven't tested it yet, but I'm hoping it'll last a year. It's very large. Anyway, so and then there's going to be we have all adult kits and we're doing children's kits too. Long story short, my first one was supposed to be, we had the National Dental Hygiene Conference in New Orleans, was supposed to be in June, but of course it got canceled. So did I say that right? The National Dental Hygiene Conference.
New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Oh, you mean New Orleans? Nolans.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
I want to make sure
I
we're
do
on the same
say
page.
Lowville,
Nolans.
right? Lowville, Kentucky. I do say that right. I got that, but I didn't know. I've never been to New Orleans yet, so no one's told me how to say it yet because I didn't get to go. I was supposed to go. Anyway, we had a women and children's shelter there that we were all ready to go and, obviously do the whole presentation and things like that. So that was like going to be my launch first place, you know what I mean? But since I was going to do it every time we go to a conference, because I was traveling 2 or 3 times a month, like doing different state conferences, dental hygiene, different board review classes. Like I just wanted to travel and go to a bunch of different places. Wherever I am, I'll reach out and find somewhere that needs it. But since I'm not traveling, the whole timetable has turned and we're making a virtual program. So I made this database where dental hygienists, dentists, assistants, whoever, just teeth enthusiasts, if you want to do this, like you're welcome. We have a database so you can sign up for somewhere in your community that you think needs it. You know what I mean? Or like maybe you volunteer somewhere or whatever. So we have this cool database of people that, say they volunteer at their local homeless shelter or whatever, their church or something. So they sign up and then we're going to start up the virtual presentation. So we send all the product to them and then they get to set up their virtual presentation with that group. So any organization. There's also a link, a part on the page on givehappyteeth.com for organizations to sign up. So then that goes directly to me. If a random organization is like, hey, Whitney, I'm interested in this, and I can get, that's how I'm getting my ones, directly, just from organizations finding the website. But everybody else is their personal community story.
So money's the answer. What's the question? You can have the greatest product in the world, but if it's sitting in your garage, you're not going to sell any. But if you get Walmart to carry it, and 90% of all Americans live within an hour of a Walmart, you have your distribution to take care of. So who is your, you were talking about earlier, you have a business partner. What is your, do you have any manufacturing relationships? Who would it be? And would you be targeting a dental manufacturer who's more B2C consumer, like Colgate, Crest, all that? Or would you be more interested in B2B with people who sell to a dentist and hygienist? Who's your, how do you think of that?
Yeah. So you're talking about the bags, or the goodie bags and stuff, the dental kits, not the toothbrushes, how I made those, right? I didn't know those are two different things. I'm assuming since you said Crest, Colgate, all that stuff. Okay. Yes. So that's currently in the process as well. Everything COVID, we all know, has changed everything. Some sponsors, how it goes, want you to be in person. And since it's not in person, it was kind of a halt and a pause. So we have a partnership lined up, but I don't think I could say it yet. But it's with a company that I've made videos with and things like that. So it's just, there's so many nice companies and I just wanted to find the best company to work with personally. So we're kind of just choosing the one we want to work with. I want to be inclusive. That's the thing. I don't want to be exclusive. I don't want it to just be this. I don't know. I don't want to say any product name. So let's say A. I don't want to be with company A only, because what if company B offers me a great floss pick? Can I use the toothpaste from A and the floss pick from B? Because the floss picks will be great for the little kids. And you know what I mean? So I'm very a lot of companies want to only give their stuff and not be allowed to, no other donations are accepted. I'm like, oh, but that's not, but no, we purchase them usually at we'll be purchasing them at a cost to a dental office. You know what I mean? So in bulk, but
well, you definitely want diversification. I mean, you want diversification, so you wouldn't want to have a sponsor. I mean, there's been so many people in the past where something happened to their one sponsor and then they're gone. So diversification is good. But
I do believe that there's good products within a lot of different companies, and I'm not all about the all and no non-competes. I don't like that. So I just want to give the people the best products that I feel are for them. And if two companies don't allow their same thing to be in the bag, I feel weird about that. So we're trying to figure it out. We're figuring it out right now. Stay tuned.
Well, it's kind of interesting because if you're a research junkie like dentists are, I mean, they lived in a library for a decade. The research on toothpaste is that you don't even need it. It's dry brushing. What they're trying to get you to do is brush for 2 minutes and just do it. On the difference between a manual brush and electric toothbrush, dude, you haven't brushed your teeth in a year. I don't care what you brush your teeth with. When they say to me, do you like hard bristles or soft bristles? And I'm like, I just wish you would stick something in your mouth and try to clean it. I mean, I just blew a ham sandwich out from underneath this partial, and you're asking me what mouthwash to use? So I think it's with the best hygienists I've seen, it's the same ones that excel in grammar school, where they can, the little girl doesn't want to learn how to play the piano. She's afraid of playing dodgeball. But there's some teacher, there's some coach that gets her fired up and brings up. Because with humans, it's all or nothing. Like, you either own your own bowling ball and bag, or you haven't been bowling in 10 years. In Arizona, we got 4 lakes. They spell Scar, Saguaro, Cactus, Apache, Roosevelt. You either own a boat and you go there all the time, or you've lived here 50 years, you've never been there once. So with humans, that's why I loved bleaching the most, because I got out of school in 87, opened up my practice. It came out, and the first one that came out with it was Omni International out of Arkansas. And David Keel was the Arizona rep, and I jumped on that because I knew that this person doesn't look at their teeth. In fact, when they smile, they might cover their mouth. They're not into their teeth. But as soon as they see some motivation, they got whiter. They bleached their teeth and they got whiter. That's why I love orthodontics. You don't need braces for health reasons. Hell, 1 in 3 Americans are morbidly obese, myself included. We probably ought to have the only good thing American teeth is for is if you had them wired shut, so you couldn't, you'd have something to hook the wires to so you couldn't eat. So with Americans, with humans, it's just about getting them motivated. And if you can lighten their teeth, do something fun, like I was against that, they threw out that sparkle thing. A hygienist friend of mine, she found those blue sparkles, and one was under the gum, and everybody just about lost their shit over it. And I'm like, well, maybe the blue sparkle's the only thing that's going to get my granddaughter to want to go brush her teeth. And we have to throw it away because, it had an ounce of fun in it, So so motivation is everything. And so if you make kids feel bad, they're going to hate their teeth. You can't make them feel bad and then want to know why they don't join your values. So how do you, when you're a hygienist, who was your most, when you're doing clinical, who's your most fun patient? Is it 5 and under? Is it old adults? What do you have the most fun with?
But I just reviewed about this, and my favorite is my age and younger. So I'm not.
And you're 30. You said you're 30.
I'm 30. So I love the 20s. I love the teens. I love the kids. So I am not against the older, the 30s and the 40s and 50s. I think I have some of my personal favorite patients are, and they're like, there's this one lady who's 90. I love her. So but generalized, like, right, of course there's older people I like and they're nice and normal. But if I want to have a lot of fun, it's usually the younger people. I love, it's just conversation wise, I am super awkward usually. Maybe I always am, but I don't, I know what to talk about with the younger people, like in college, like how many credit hours you're taking. Like, I know what to say. Like if they're in there, did you just graduate? Are you working? Like, I don't know. I just have things to talk about. I don't have kids. I'm not married. So like when it's like,
so you don't have kids and you're not married?
Correct.
Okay,
so
I gotta jump in there. Well, don't screw it up. You already made it to 30 single. Don't. But you'll never get divorced if you don't get married, and you'll never need financial planning if you don't have kids. If you don't get married and have kids, you're a millionaire.
There you go. So see, but it's just so funny. I just never, again, if I don't know, I don't think my patients will be on this one. I think this is for dentists and hygienists, but if they ever heard me, there's people I love in their 40s, 50s. But I'm just saying, I love hearing most about like how school's going, like what are you going to be for Halloween? Like I love talking to little ones. I just think it's a cute, and I feel like they soak in what I say so much more than adults. Like, not everyone, of course, there's always exceptions, but like yesterday I had this little boy, and like sometimes I don't know, you can just feel the vibe. Is this kid gonna listen to he needs help with his home care for sure. It was just I like cleaning plaque off, so like I think plaque is more fun to clean than tartar. I just love seeing it, like the gums get all I love it. Anyway, tartar's kind of like whatever. So it was just like his teeth were I was like, feel how smooth they are, whatever. And I was like, really, like, I know you probably don't want to listen to this, but like, can you please try to listen? This is so important. Like, I don't know. I like talking to the little ones instead of, I don't know how to say home care appropriately to older people as I do to younger people. Cause I feel like I'm talking down on, like the word, like when someone's older than you, I feel so weird. I have a problem. I need to get over that different dynamic of when someone's older than you and you're telling them what to do. I think that was a long way to get around to that. Yep. About that.
It is great, and those are your niche. Like I could never be a cosmetic dentist because if you were like, it seems like all the cases are, when I was in dental school, I thought all the people that wanted cosmetic dentistry was like young, hot girls that just wanted to be 1% higher, and then you find out, they got divorced, they're on the fix-up remake thing, and they come in and they start telling you all the problems with their teeth. And I mean, I just can't have empathy and sympathy for that. I mean, it's just a rich world problem. So you should try
I
to
have too
focus
much.
on.
I bring it home with me.
Well, don't on that fiance guy. God, don't ruin it, man. As soon as you get a contract on that guy, the courtship is over. He's not chasing you. He's not trying to make the sell. I mean, just keep him hanging until he dies, and never ever get him. But there's a lot of different audience. Like what I want to tell you is that Twitter. A lot of people think that Twitter is crazy, but they don't realize that the president of the United States is addicted to Twitter. And Twitter is huge for old people. YouTube is 72% boys. But when you're in dentistry and you're looking for millionaires, if you want to find every dentist who's a millionaire, 10 millionaire, or a billionaire, they're on LinkedIn. So dentistry is where the money is. So when you want to get sponsorship, when you're looking for aids, well, that guy's not going to be on Instagram. I mean, if you put a gun to my head, I wouldn't download TikTok or what's the other one? What's the one where they send you a photo and then it disappears? Snapchat. What is that one?
Snapchat.
Yeah, I mean, it was designed to send nude pictures, and then they asked, and then Dennis said to me, I messaged you on Facebook like 12 times. Dude, I'm 60 with diabetes and erectile dysfunction. Just use the damn howard@dentaltown.com. I mean, it's you got to know your audience. But when you're looking for sponsors, when you're looking for money, those cats are all on LinkedIn. That's where all the rich people are. So if you're looking for sponsors, so if you're on YouTube channel, my gosh, every time you're on YouTube channel, you should be thinking you're talking to 1,000 boys. And when you're on LinkedIn, you should be thinking you're talking to a bunch of old rich people. And when you're on Twitter, so they're all different markets. But I think that I think these I think what you got to do, and you're doing it really neat. You got a B2C strategy. With the consumer, the B2B, business to business, with dentists and hygienists, and you're doing videos targeted on them. And then you got a B2C, and that's why when you look at these companies like Ivoclar, well, they have a marketing department for patients trying to build the demand for cosmetic dentistry. But what I would shoot for if I was you is Colgate, because first of all, let's say
I'm working with them right now on a video. I love them a lot. They're being really nice.
Well, they're just a monster. And I can tell you how monster it is because first mover advantage is huge. Like the only reason we're still growing 1,000 new dentists a month to this day is because I was 5 years before Facebook. So I had that first mover advantage. Harvard was the first university, and it'll always be the greatest school. No one knows. Everybody knows the first guy who landed on the moon, but they don't know the second guy who landed on the moon. And and when it becomes like Coke, only started like 11 years before Pepsi, and they can't catch that over a century. But when you lose your trademark, if it becomes a noun, like when you say, make me a Xerox copy, but the person's taking it to a Canon copier, making you a copy and says, here's your Xerox copy, Xerox no longer owns that word. And Kleenex, you say, hand me a Kleenex, I'm authentic. I actually have real Kleenex, the brand. But most of them are a tissue. But they don't say tissue. They say, hand me a Kleenex. And if you travel the world, there's 208 countries. And at least 100 countries, there's no word toothpaste. It's Colgate. Just like you say, hand me a Kleenex, make a Xerox copy. Yeah. And so the kid will be squeezing some crazy toothpaste on there. But mom will say, make sure you put Colgate on that. Make sure you put Colgate on that. Wow. The kids squeeze on. They don't have a word, just like your grandma says, hand me a Kleenex. Make me a Xerox copy. So they'll always think Harvard.
I just made a really fun video with Colgate. We had so much fun. I wish I knew that fact.
But it turns out you don't need toothpaste. I mean, dry brushing for 2 minutes will remove the plaque. Mouthwash. You don't need mouthwash because mouthwash is kind of the nuclear bomb of the military. A nuclear bomb is the dump bomb. So you want to go kill some guy in Phoenix and you drop a nuclear bomb. You killed 3.8 million people to kill one. It's a very dumb bomb. Whereas like a sniper, or as Russia does it with poison, they get the exact guy they need. And mouthwash just kills everything. Kills the good flora, the bad flora. It just kills everything. And it'd be, it's just not targeted. It's dumb. But my God, Colgate can throw away more money in a year than the ADA's total revenue. I mean, the ADA collects like $100 million a year. I mean, Colgate is just a monster organization. I mean, it's just monster, and they can take your videos and translate them to 64 different languages and all that kind of stuff. My gosh.
Numbers are not my thing. That's why we got.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that. Like dentists, if something's not your thing, well, what's the first rule of AA? Which, if you're Irish, they teach you this when you're 1 at birth, is to admit that you have a problem, right? And I tease the Irish.
Someone to do it for you.
Yeah, and so I'll go into an office and the guy and I'll say, "What do you hate the most about dentistry?" And I say, "Oh, the staff drive me crazy." I say, "Okay, dude, you're 50. I'm looking at your employee turnover. No one works here for more than 2 to 3 years. If you were in the NFL and you were picking players, they would have fired you 30 years ago. So when you're not good at something, it's most likely you hate it. You have no interest in being good. Like people say that I hate math. Well, when's the last time you took a cosine and a tangent? I mean, they don't like math. I hate crossword puzzles. I don't even know. I hate scary movies at Halloween. Like, really, your best idea is just to be miserable for an hour. I don't get it.
I watched one last night. It was very good. It was the aftermath of The Shining, whatever.
Yeah, that house in Colorado. That's a cool house. Next time you're in Boulder, or go see that house. Have you been up there?
My family actually have a lot of family in Colorado, but I've never been to the what do they call it? It's not the Overlook, and it's the Overlook. What is it called in real life? I don't even know. But no, I've never been to it. But I go to Colorado all the time because my family's there.
So I would have a very targeted message on LinkedIn. If you'd like to sponsor, if you'd like to do this, and the 401k people are just they're going to have. I mean, the ADA. Like the Arizona Dental Association is laying off employees because the nonprofit sector knows that they got the extra money in good times, and now that there's a contraction, your donations just plummet. It's going to be tough times for them. So, get dialed in on that. My gosh, I could talk to you for 40 days and 40 nights. Were you thinking that we were going to talk about something that I was too dumb to bring up or didn't bring up? Or?
No, I'm so glad we got to talk about Happy Teeth and how Teeth Talk Girl happened, and we got to go back and forth about dental assisting before dental hygiene. I think it was good. We covered some bases.
Yeah, and again, my gosh, if you're going to go lecture, like say, start at the Toastmasters, then start at your study club, but watch pros do it. And I didn't know, when I can still remember your first video, it just didn't even seem right. It said, this is way too good for the little B2C dental market. Yet she's got 64,000 subscribers. And what I mean by that is, there's only one dentist for every 6,000 people on Earth. And in the rich countries, it's a dentist for every 2,000. For the planet, it's 1 for 6,000. And the ratio I like the most, in the 20 rich countries, you have 5 MDs for every dentist. And then in the 50 poor countries, you have 5 dentists for every MD. Because when you're living in the Congo, you're never going to get treated for prostate cancer. But if you have a rockin' hot toothache, maybe we can leave some comfort there. So the B2C market is infinitely more enormous. And what I like about your potential is only 5% of Americans have ever gone to a chiropractor once, but everybody brushes their teeth. Everybody on earth will see a dentist at some time in their life. And so that B2C market, you got 8 billion people. And then if you got goals into acting and things like that, what I would target on is be the most rocking hot YouTube channel hygienist, and then make sure Hollywood and the LinkedIn people know that there is actually a hygienist. So when they're screening a part and they're like, oh, this is a dental scene. Oh my God, we should get the Teeth Talk girl to do it. That would be so funny. So it's always target marketing. And young kids that they come out of dental school and try to build their whole practice on Facebook and Instagram, I always remind them, I say, well, what are your goals? Well, I like to do a lot of implants. Okay, people who are missing their teeth aren't on Instagram. Okay, they're old people that still walk out to their mailbox and look forward to junk mail. I mean, my mom, she's 82. 90% of the emails she sends me is forwarding spam and telling me, Howie, I thought you definitely want to read this. I mean, just, crazy. So target market, I think if you broke into acting, you should do it in dental. I mean, my gosh, that's the way to
I
do
always
it.
joked with Chicago PD because now there's a Chicago Med, there's a Chicago Law, I think it's called. I'm like, where's Chicago Dentistry? Because hello, so I need to talk to Dick Wolf. I'm just joking. Obviously, I don't know him. Dick Wolf is like, right? Is he the big guy for that? No, Chuck Lorre's a comedy. Dick Wolf is a serious. Yeah.
I would bet your money. I mean, when you're old, it's easy to spot success because you just see the patterns and you're just you own it. You're unique. You're just doing everything right. And it was just an honor that you accepted the invitation to come on the show. I wanted to talk to all things Whitney. You're just crushing it. You're in the and then you're in Chicago. So you have two major institutions. You have the American Dental Association and you have Delta Dental. Okay. Whereas the American Dental Association might have $1 million of cash, Delta would have $1 billion with a B. They give away more money, they throw it away, and you have to get out, those old people, you have to get out there and run for mayor. You got to go out there and press the flesh. Like I talked to Dennis in Arizona, and when I got here in 87, the first year I opened up, I looked at my end-of-year numbers, and Delta Dental of Arizona gave me $400,000. So I called down there, well, who's the CEO? And they said, Ed Judd. And I said, well, I'm taking you to dinner. I mean, shit, you're the only guy on earth that ever gave me $400,000. My dad wouldn't even pay for my college because I was a boy. He paid for the girls, but I was a boy, and I don't know what that has to do with anything. But he said, you got to be a self-made man, so I'm not going to give you a dime. And I called up Ed. I said, Ed, man, God, you gave me $400,000 my first year. Thank you so much. I want to take you to dinner, all that stuff. You got to press flesh. Your generation, they'll always say this. I'll say, well, you should network with this company. They're in your backyard. Well, I sent him a message on Instagram, and they never replied. Oh, I don't know, dude. He's 68, and he's a multimillionaire. Have you thought of going down there? I would go down to Delta Dental of Arizona. That's the franchise parent company. They got like 38 franchise, but oh, my God, do those boys have money. They have money at a different level. I mean, they could throw away more money each year than the American Dental Association collects. So network. And the executive director of the American Dental Association, Kathleen O'Loughlin, female dentist, just call her up and say, I'm looking for a strong female role model in dentistry. I mean, she would just absolutely deliver. So it's not what you know, it's what you know and who you know. And nobody's going to be able to network with more people than TikTok Girl with 64,000 YouTube subscribers. And her Instagram is, I mean, you're just killing it everywhere you go. TikTok Girl, Instagram. I mean, you're just crushing it. But again, thank you so much, Whitney, for coming on the show. It was an absolute pleasure and fun to podcast you.
Thank you for having me. And I need to say, I truly believe it is all because being genuine and just wanting to help people is like where it's at. If you want to like make money, there's no reason to do things. You got to do it because you care. I learned that from Leslie Jones, a comedian.
Do it for the right reasons and the money will follow. Do it for the wrong reasons and everyone will know it.
So thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you.